Sam Weatherley is joining us from Riccarton Live this morning. And Sam, a very good morning to you. Look, I'm sure you've been thinking about this ride for quite some time, because with what she did at Mudda, she was explosive through the line and she was very good in the Sartan.
Yeah, good morning, Brendan. Oh shit, I've lost us here. Sweet. Nah, she was really good in the Sartan. It was a super run from her, and especially to do that after what she done first up was pretty encouraging. So all roads lead to today. We've got a beautiful draw, and yeah, happy to be on her.
Well, Sam, let's talk about this race in the Sartan. Look, dictated by the day, with how they were racing, your barrier draw, you decided to go back, and I'm sure it was a plan to be able to say, as Katrina even mentioned in that piece there about saving something for the 1,000 guineas, she's been able to produce really good figures from back in the field. It must have been such a pleasing run for a third in behind Need I Say More, and of course behind a horse in Bourbonnier, who you were aboard, who nearly pulled off the 2,000 guineas last week.
Yeah, exactly. It was very encouraging to see her finish off like that. Like, obviously we didn't have many options being drawn at the outside gate, so we decided to go back and just really make a good stepping stone for the 1,000 guineas, and that it was. It was very pleasing, and it was good to see her taking ground off those two horses, and it was good to see that Bourbonnier franked that form last Saturday actually. So. Yeah, as hopefully we can posse up a little bit closer today, and we can be right there.
Well, Sam, I'm sure you've pulled the race to pieces with where you're drawn and how you think the race is going to pan out. So how do you see the map for you, and where do you ideally want to be able to try and pull this race off?
Well, we've got a nice draw, so I kind of want to use the draw without revving her up too much, so she's not up over racing and travelling too strong. So just try and find that happy medium. There'll be a couple that'll go, like Embers will go, and De La T from out wide will go, and so I expect a little bit of pressure early, but we'll try and hold a spot without driving the ears off her. So just trying to find that happy medium.
Yeah, sure, and getting out to the 1,600 metres, with what we've seen from her, with how explosive her turn of foot is, you've got a pretty firm regard that that's not going to be an issue getting out to the mile for her?
No, exactly. What she's shown us is she's been so impressive, as everyone's seen. Today, drawn two just will make things so much easier for her to run the mile. She'll have to do no work, and she's got an electric turn of foot, and I'm sure we'll see it today. Well, hopefully we'll see it anyway.
You've run a couple of seconds at this carnival, Sam, of course, last week with Bourbonnier. Of course, last year you bumped into a horse with by the name of Loire on Jennifer Eccles, who then went on to be the best 3-year-old filly. So I'm sure a little bit of unfinished business there to be able to make sure you can get in that winning spot today.
Yeah, exactly. I've been knocking on the door down here, so hopefully today's the day. Bit of patience, and hopefully my time will come. So really excited to be on her. She's a very good filly, and I'm just so thankful to the connections for keeping me on her, because they could have put anyone else on. There's a lot of good jockeys in there. So, but very pleased to be aboard her.
Yep. Oh, well, you've done the hard graft, Sam, that is for sure, and was aboard that victory and also last time of the races, so you certainly deserve to be retained as the rider. Let's talk about your chance in the New Zealand Cup today now, Sam, and that is the Good Fight. Now, this is a stayer that's a good quality stayer, been there or thereabouts, just missed winning a Wellington Cup, of course, when you were aboard on that occasion. How do you rate his chances off the back of what he did in the Metropolitan last start?
Yeah, look, it was a really encouraging run the other day. Probably... He's a real true 2-miler. This horse, he almost needs further than 2 miles, but it's hard to find those types of races around here. So he closed off well, and through the line he was very strong too, which was encouraging. And one thing I like, he does have strong 2-mile form. Where a couple of others that are in the market, like Lincoln King and Robusto, they probably don't quite have the 2-mile form that he does. So he's a tough horse, and I'm pretty sure that he can show that he's the toughest stayer in the race.
Yeah, it was a really good pipe opener, wasn't it, from him in the Metropolitan. What's your thoughts around how you're going to get the softest run possible from your barrier draw?
he never really, he's a horse that never really begins the best, and he can be a little bit slow to get away. So we might just ride him a little bit conservatively today and just try and show that he's the toughest horse in the race. Might get moving on him a little bit, and I just want to get him in the open and get him going, because if he gets to the front, even at the top of the straight, he won't stop. He'll keep going. So that could be our plan today. We'll just see how the day unfolds, but I might just ride him a little bit quiet early and get going on him a bit, because he is the toughest horse.
All right, and what have the team have said about his week in Christchurch? Look, he's a fairly versatile horse in terms of him travelling around a fair bit. Has he enjoyed his time down there and he's relaxed in the environment?
Yeah, I think he's really enjoyed himself. He's such a beautiful horse. Nothing ever phases him. Like the other day, I went down to the start with the loops and the reins. He was quite happy he wanted to put his head on the ground and have a pick of the grass. So nothing phases him at all. So he would have travelled well. He's been to Aussie a couple of times. He's been there, done that. So there's no issue with that at all.
All right, Sam, well, a few gaps in the day for you. Obviously, just a short amount of ride. So I'm guessing in between races, it's about probably not trying to overthink the day and maybe try and switch off. What's your sort of strategy around that?
Yeah, exactly. I've got a big gap between rides, so I've actually got to have a sweat at some stage. So I'll get in the sauna there, and that'll take a little bit of time out of my day. But just relaxing, try not to use too much energy up, and try and dig into the form, but not overthink it at the same time. So really excited for today. I've got a couple of really nice rides, and hopefully we can get the job done down here. I've been knocking on the door in those big races a couple of times, so hopefully today's a good day.